So welcome to, this is actually the December Jaffna Club Zoom, but we always move the December Zoom from the last Sunday of December to the first Sunday of January, so as not to interfere with people's hijinks over the new year. Our presentation today is by Northern Modern Irrigation. So I thought it's very appropriate as we start a new year to think about one of the fundamental economy sectors in Sri Lanka and in the world, that is producing food for us to eat. So I first met Rahul Nirojan, CEO of Northern Modern Irrigation, about 2 months ago. And I was astonished by what I saw. In my head, what I thought polytunnels was fairly small snakes, 5 feet high, running along the ground. And here I saw structures as big as a church, bigger than a house. And Natarajan Jayarajan is the co-founder of this company. He's been advising Nirojan for many years, and so the two of them started the business together. So we start off with my welcome address. On the screen, there are contact details if you want to contact Jayarajan and Nirojan after you've seen this. So, as always, the objective of the club is to facilitate, foster and support social intercourse and fellowship among its members. It will build a network of members and non-members that can work together to promote the economic development of the Northern Province. What is the club for? The club is a catalyst. And I always say this every month. The club is a catalyst because what it's doing is helping other people achieve objective of economic development. So it helps people like us connect with each other, and it helps people like us connect with entrepreneurs and business opportunities. Typically, there'll be around 15 to 20 people live on this Zoom, and there'll be another 150 to 200 people who watch the recording. The maximum number, 800 people watched one recording from the past, so that was the largest number. The list of speakers since we started in September 2020 is a who's who of people who have been working for the development of the North. Some have been actively setting up and running businesses here. Some of them have been supporting them either in the educational sector, in the legal sector. We've had a governor, a past governor. I'm keen to have our current governor. I must invite him. So I shall slowly scroll forward on this, so you can see who we've had. We've had young entrepreneurs, small business people, large business people. People from the public sector, bankers. We had 2 lawyers. Shanta Rubin and Neil Anthony Pillay, both UK-based, set up a training centre in Jaffna. Into their second year, starting their third year now. And last month, that is in November, we had Shanti Bhagidharan and Kaushal Rajapaksa, who told us about the Northern Investment Summit, which is going to happen on the 20th and 21st of January, where investors and entrepreneurs and other people concerned with investing in the North will come together in Jaffna. So now we start with the presentation by the Northern Modern Irrigation, and Jayarajan is going to take this. So Jay, if you take over the share.
Thank you, Jagan, for all your support and all your encouragement. I think thank you for actually, Jagan. I just want to personally thank you for your visiting our polytunnel. Just going through the entire thing. Just we have been you more like a person who like helped us on the whole thing to get this into the track today to the presentation. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
And meantime, I think I don't have a lengthy presentation. Basically, I need to come out with the idea to show what a polytunnel can do in the northern province. That's what this is all about. This presentation is. So I will start my presentation.
Baran. Yeah.
Right. I think my name is known as Janarajan Jayarajan. I basically one of the co-founder along with my good friend Punyamurthy Nirojan. I think this was started in 2016. We started this 2016 as a Northern Jaffna micro irrigation system. It's basically a proprietorship based company. We don't have basically the idea behind this company, we need to create smart farmers in the northern province. It is, create a smart farming. So that is the idea behind this, our company. Rather, we started as Northern Jaffna micro irrigation system, and it was established in 2016 while the country is also going through the crisis and other things also we are facing it. But we started it because we had an intention. This startup will going to do a lot in the future. So that is what I said, the future of agriculture. We depend on three areas. We took it as a principle, a policy in our company. It's like innovation, sustainability, and the growth. Why I say innovation is we worked on the climate smart agriculture. We want to go and tell a farmer how the farmer can be smart enough in agriculture to succeed. So if you are smart enough, you will have a sustainability. If you have a sustainability, you will have a growth. So that's basically northern modern irrigations. I can put it in a small nutshell and tell you what is our mission and vision is. I don't want to go in detail in it. So this is what basically northern modern irrigation is. Our total intention in towards agriculture. So yes, we have started this. We want to talk about today uh, what is protected agriculture. So basically, what is protected agriculture? It's called controlled. Uh, just give me a minute. Yeah. What is protected agriculture? Protected agriculture, also called control environment agriculture, CEA. We call it basically, it is a known factor, has been known as a control environment agriculture, a crop cultivation under protective structure to control climate and reduce risk. As far as you can control the climate, you have a good yield. That's ultimate in agriculture because most of the effects come from the outdoor environment and climate and other various factors. So we basically what is protected agriculture is basically we will protect our cultivation, our basically our land, our growth, our plant, our crop. So make sure that we have enough yield to sustain in the market. So that is what basically protected agriculture. Now, why I said that is how this can be done. Basically, in a Sri Lankan context, we do it in a polytunnel. Okay, you might come across this name may give you a lot of confusion. People know as greenhouse or is it polytunnel? What are these two things? Okay, we will explain you in times to come. But polytunnel is basically ideal for the northern province. Okay, so that's basically UV based polythene will basically cover the entire structure and with the insect nets and we will start growing most of the high valued vegetables and herbs, a protected environment. So that is basically a protected agriculture is all about. So you can have a net house system because it's more like it's a very old system where you just grow outdoor. You don't put a type of a structure. You just cover with a net house. So that's also you can see in the picture, but it's basically outdated now. But that has been today. It is a Polytunnel is a most advanced version has come out. So that is the reason we just showed you the both. We also, there was a time we also promoting net house, we also involved in net house, but now is the time to say we have shifted our path from net house to polytunnels. Just give me a minute.
Are you okay or?
I'm just okay, it's not, screen is not moving.
Okay, fine.
I think there is a second screen you can click on that'll move.
Okay, fine. We are there. Okay, now we are basically known as open farming and open field farming. Just give me a minute. Not, there is some sharing issues. Yeah, your key problems in open field farming, that's a normal conventional farming method we have been used to do in the northern province. So it is have a lot of issues, that's a known fact today, unpredictable rainfall and today climate smart agriculture plays a big role in that part. And pest and disease attacks, it's a very, very uncontrollable issues and a crop failures, due to the overheating, the stress management and all this falls into the crop. So that's basically create a issue where crop can go into failures and price fluctuation because in these open farming you will do a farming because that is basically decided by the season. On that specified season you grow that, so you basically the price fluctuations also affect the open field farm. And limited land availability, yes, because why I'm saying that limited land, we do have more lands, but in the sense, okay, when you have a more lands, there's been more investment and more people you need, more fertilizers is used. So basically limited land you want to grow, you want to accept with a limited land more yield, it's not possible with open field farm. So whereas when you come into a PA protected agriculture, yes, you can do a lot of things like producing off-season crops a year. Off-season crops basically now just come into still can I give you a small example? Now, what is off-season crop? That cannot be produced on that season, but there is a high demand in the market. How are you going to cater that product? So in a polytunnel, you can create and cater that market because the reason is you control your environment. So where basically you grow what you really want to grow and the market what you really want to sell, you can grow. So you come into a situation where you will cater the market what the market wants. You don't just go to the market and tell what I have, please buy. So the approach is totally different. So that is basically producing off-season crop. So if that season is off, but but the market has a demand, you still in a polytunnel you can produce. An example, month of December. The capsicum. Capsicum is basically, it has gone, it is today prices touching about 1,500 a kg in Dambula market, a wholesale price. Because this is what being used these days because of the Christmas, first the January 1st, and coming all these holidays, people used to buy this capsicum. So today it's off season. You can't grow in the open field. Where polytunnel products you will see in the supermarkets, because the reason is capsicum, which is grown recently on the polytunnel, came into the market. The price has hiked up to 1,500 a kg. So this is one of the good example to explain you what is off-season crops, what I'm trying to mention here. And then increasing yield per unit area. Increasing yield basically per unit area. Now, there's a unit basically, we work on a polytunnel. If you look at a polytunnel, okay, for a 2,000 square feet polytunnel, it comes about within 8 perches. Okay, basically one perch is about 250 square feet. So it's about 8 perches. So on this specified per unit area, specified square feet area, you can grow so much in this and you will expect so much of yield. That's basically helps your ROI. Your return on investment, you can plan it without any issue. The reason is you can precise and tell your budget and say, okay, I can grow without any issue. And this, if I do all these things, I can have a stable yield for the end of the hour's time. So that's what increasing yield per unit area and reducing weather-related losses. Okay, that's basically the protection comes in. So weather-related issues, you can be anything. It can be heavy rain or heat stress or any other pest, anything which is related to weather is basically will not be affecting us. Basically, we are in a covered environment. And improving farmer income stability. So basically, we improve the farmer income. Farmer cannot rely on only one crop. You see, it's a traditional method we use in the northern. I think it's most of the country, in all country we use. Okay, on this specified season, we grow only this because that's how I've been taught. My ancestor did that. I'm going to do the same thing. But here it's a different story. We're going to decide what market we're going to buy from us. Okay, market says this is what we want. Okay, this season we're going to buy you from Chinese cabbage. You don't just grow cabbage, a normal cabbage. So Chinese cabbage you can grow. So that's what we are going to do. So improving the farmer income stability and soil fertility and control growth, because soil fertility is basically we don't work with the soil at all. In a polytunnel system, we don't work with the soil. We create our soil medium. That's mean we basically take a grow bag and we will fill the grow bag with a compost and cocoa peat, and then we basically make our potting system. We don't just say go and make the soil. Example, if you take a conventional farming, the farmers take the urea and just throw the urea, and that's how it normally, that's the process they go through. But here you don't do that. We basically, what we do, we take a grow bag and we basically fill what are the things this is needed. Example, now in our Puttur, in our office, if you come, we have a 25 vermicompost bed. What is vermicompost bed is? Basically, we take the food waste and even we take cow dung mostly and food waste and we convert into a compost. It's basically somewhere come to it's 100% organic thing we use. We don't use anything chemical there. So we use organic and then, we convert those compost as we call it. Basically, we produce vermology. Actually, basically, we produce worms there, basically. So this basically we bring that whatever the nutrition that is needed in the soil there, and then along with the cocoa peat, basically cocoa peat is of the coconut processing, and then we put it and make our potting medium. So basically soil and fertilizers, we make it. We make our own soil. We don't just take the soil. So, and then the control. We control our fertilizer. Okay, we use fertilizer. Not like we don't say we don't use, but we use. But there is also a limit that we use. That is basically in a polytunnel, we have a reduction of using fertilizers. And then fully automated climate control system. Yes, it is 100% automated. From your house, now example, okay, you are seated in your house, or rather your polytunnel is just about 10 kilometers away from your place. And if suddenly the heat increase, for example, okay, yesterday was like 28, today is touching 30, and you get alarm through your phone. App is basically running on, so that you'll say that, okay, my increase, okay, how you're going to handle it. You can switch on your ventilation system for your phone. You can only use your ventilation. If you have a CCTV camera fixed, you can see what's going on. So basically, your agriculture's entire system is fully automated. So it's not only, it's a long process, if I'm going to tell you, as it needs a lot of time. So I'm just to make it very short and sweet. So I just want to tell you this automated climate control system is basically, it's automated. You can do anything, anytime, anything, any you want. So it's you to decide what to do at what time. And pest and weed feed-free cultivation, because we don't use pesticides, we don't use at all. And weedicide, we don't use at all, because there is no weed. There's no place to weeds to grow, because we control our soil. And pest, because pest can't approach, the reason is fully covered environment. So pests can't come inside. So that is what pest and free cultivation. And water soluble fertilizer. Okay, now we do have a drip irrigation system come with the polytunnel. The water is being sent into the plant through a drip system. Where, example, let me put you in this way. Okay, for a minute, some plant need 2 drops of water. That's enough for that plant. We don't want to give more. We don't give. Just drop 2 drops for that specified minute. So that through a drip irrigation system will be from the water via the water source. It has been through a tube. It has been sent to that plant, to whatever the plant that we want to send it. And then the water will be traveling within a specified minute as per the system program. The water will be drip into that system. So that is basically, and while that going, whatever the fertilizer also, we will send it through that. So it's not like, how fertilizers, you see a typical way of farming, just carrying it and going and pressing, just spreading onto the conventional way. No, we don't do that. So it has been sent through that. When a farmer goes to the polytunnel, if he sees there is a disease, okay, the immediately action has to be taken. Also, then okay, rather not the disease. I think that he found out that this plant has some nutritional issues. We need to send some fertilizers, okay, some nitrogen or potassium or anything. Through this, we can send it. Okay, that's called water soluble fertilization. Another thing I explained to you how a drip irrigation system works. So basically, we create a farmland in our polytunnel. So it's not most of the outside effects, we will be restricting it by covering this protection agriculture. Okay, now what's this come to our mind? Okay, guys, listen now, what I can grow on this. Okay, yes, you can't grow everything, anything in this, but there are specified things only you can grow. So vegetables like, high value vegetables and more like an exported oriented crop, bell pepper. I think you will see bell pepper is well known where it is grown in rural area. But today we have proven, we have actually proven that, this bell pepper can grow in northern province. So we have done our cultivation. I think if you want, you can visit us. And Japanese cucumber, tomatoes, chutneys, salad leaves, lettuce, green chili, Scotch bonnet chili. Scotch bonnet chili, as currently the price is for export market is touching 1 kg 3,200. Because that is used for different purpose, for medicine and cosmetics people buy. Scotch bonnet is actually a chili, a small type of a chili. We've been known in Sri Lanka. They have different they call it in single and nine miris. right? And Scotch bonnet chili and capsicum, Chinese cap. If you look at this, I think if you will have an idea if you visit one of our Cargill supermarket or Softlers or Kiehl's or any supermarkets. So you'll find these vegetables are basically high value vegetables. Every time price is high. So through this is what you can grow. So, okay, where is my market? I will come into that. Okay, there is a market for this, and currently we are catering that market. Okay, you want to look into a different sector. Okay, I want to looking into the herbs. Yes, these are the herbs you can grow. Parsley, sage, oregano, tarragon, fennel, thyme, chives, rosemary, mint, lemongrass. So, but only thing to grow this, you need to have a RO plant. A reverse osmosis plant. Basically, the water has to be 100% quality water, or else you have to use a rain harvesting. You have to save the rainwater, and then that water, if you use, that is better for herbs because you can't. But other thing, yes, you can use for vegetables. Yes, you can use groundwater, but it has also conditions. Should be iron free and stuff. Yes, but there are you can still use the groundwater. But here, when you comes into the herbs, the water is specialized there because you need to make sure you have the proper water system being managed. Okay, let's come to the business. Topical cost by size. Okay, everybody comes into the mind, okay, what is all this good guy, how much I'm going to spend on this? So let's talk on that. Polytunnel size. Estimated, okay, you want to have a polytunnel, you can't just do a 500 square feet, 1000 square feet, it's not viable. You can't make any, okay, if it's for your hobby, yes, you can do one. Okay, I just want to grow something at home. I was told, when I met a foreigner from Finland, he said, there are my neighbors. We have a 500 to 1000 square feet polytunnel in our house. Basically in our streets, we basically grow different type of vegetables and we do share it. It's like in a Bartley service. I just grow tomato and I'll go and give him tomato. He grows capsicum and he gives to me. So that's how it works. So those things type of thing. If you're into that, you can go lesser than that. But if you're wanting to get into business, into polytunnel, the minimum should start with 2000 square feet. Otherwise, you will not get a ROI. Your return on investment, you will not be able to accept it. So, okay, just I put it to have a general idea. Now it will come into your mind. Okay, 2000 square feet is 4 million. Okay, how much is a per square feet? Yes, it's 2000. Okay, this is a typical cost. Okay, let me go in deep in the costing part. When the coming slides will give you a more picture on it. So this is what it's about. A polytunnel size is recommended if you really want to make money out of a polytunnel business, right? So, okay, now this is a tunnel size we are talking about, 2000 square feet. Okay, what is come here? What does this content? What is consist? One for a 2000 square feet tunnel size. What a galvanized GI pipe structure frame, UV stabilized polythene roofing, integrated drip irrigation system, insect proof netting, fully automated control system, rain harvesting tanks. Actually, now we have a 9 polytunnel. Currently, we have Jaffna. Okay, currently they are farmers. They are doing their own thing, and out of we have I think one system is 100% operating with a rain harvesting system. They don't depend on the groundwater at all. From the monsoons comes, we basically collect the water. We have been programmed the system such a way because whatever the water is collected, it has been used around the year. We are sufficient enough to run the farm for the polytunnel without the groundwater. That means there's no issue of water. Your water has been sent. The water is 100% purified water. There is no iron or no ground contamination is there. So we have currently, if you want, you can visit one of our sites. It's available to have a look at it, how a ground rainwater has been saved, and we are doing the farm. And then, okay, grow bags with the premium potty medium. I explained you the grow bags. I told you how we make a grow bags. We don't take the soil. I totally explained you. So we have a grow bags with the premium medium, and then proper drainage.
No, I'm at a Zoom meeting. But,
Okay.
Oscar, Jaffna Club.
Proper drainage and flow
I'm
preparation.
on a meeting, listening to the people.
Proper drainage and flow preparation. That also basically one of the key part when you're making the polytunnel, so that we do it. And 1 year warranty comes, because the one it's not is if you look at the warranty in the sense, we basically visiting our customer 1 year to structure and everything. But once you put the structure normally goes till about 8 to 10 years, right? It's basically a galvanized pipe structure. But yes, there is a maintenance involved. You need to paint the pipes and stuff, those need to be maintained, because we have corrosions and all these issues comes up, and you need to maintain it. And okay, we basically help the farmers on a free consultancy until the first harvest. We don't just build something and just walk away. We are going to stick with the farmer just for first harvest. It would be 6 to 8 months. We'll be, just be with the farmer and tell him how to grow vegetables or herbs in the polytunnel. That's one of the guarantee that we provide to make sure the farmer gets the interest on the polytunnel and the idea and the knowledge. Basically, most of the time, 1970s, at 1987, polytunnel came into Sri Lanka, and it was a failure. You know why? It's a knowledge-based technology. The farmers need to have a knowledge. So today it has been performing very well in the upcountry, Badulla, Matale, Kandy, where they call it a greenhouse system. But it's similar. I will explain you that. I think my colleague, founder, Nirojan, the CEO, will explain you on that. And then free consultancy for first harvest. So if it's 6 to 8 months, we will tell you what to grow, how to grow, everything. Right? And then the market linkage for the first harvest. We will not only do that, and we'll help the farmers to have the first market linkage. We will make sure that products, cultivation, whatever produced is being linked to the market. And if you want, you can continue that market. Because currently today, northern products have enough access. I think recently, I had a meeting with I think he also presented, as Jagan presented the list, he was presented about, I think, if I'm not mistaken, about almost 1 month back, called Miller, the Sensor Agro company. It's a fully automated technology they provide for agriculture. And where they have actually 28 farm gates in the northern. 28 farm gates. Basically, 28 farm gates we collect from the farmers to supply to Colombo and other areas of Sri Lanka. So there is now enough access, market linkage has been already been in the supply chain is organized. So it's not a matter of, but still we can help the farmer, and we'll ensure that farmer has a market linkage to understand how the business works. So we want the farmers to get into the proper supply chain. And the labor for a construction, why I mentioned this, it's a actually very annoying sector today, finding a labor in Jaffna, right? And there are instances we need to import labor from outside of Northern Province and to get it done. The reason is it's a very, very difficult process currently is concerned. So this is basically, okay, now you will see two prices here. Polytunnel says 2.7 million and rain harvesting. Okay, now I said 2,000 square feet, 4 million. Yes, polytunnel now 2. Yes, basically that's the introduction price. Okay, you want to invest 2.7 million, you will have a 2,000 square feet polytunnel. You can still use a groundwater. Rain harvesting is you can upgrade it later. Anytime you want to upgrade, okay, I want to go for the 2.7 million polytunnel now. Later, I want to go for a rain harvesting system. You can still go on. But yes, you don't need to rain harvest. I have plenty of water available, groundwater, so you don't need a rain harvesting system. So it's up to you to decide what type of a system you're looking for. So that is what I just explained you, the tunnel size 2,000 square feet, but we will only recommend, if you are looking at a business point of view, do not go less than 2,000 square feet. Then it is not worth. Okay, basically it's not recommended. So anything more than 2,000 square feet, yes, you will have a proper ROI, return on investment. Okay, now I'll just take a very practical scenario here. Okay, now I'm not comparing anybody. I'm comparing our own Polytunnel actually located at Puttur. We have offices. Beyond you find a 2,000, I think we have a 3,000 square feet polytunnel structure. We have been doing it last almost more than 1 year. Initial investment for a 2,000 square feet polytunnel is 2.7 million. Rain harvesting system 1 million is option. Now we took up capsicum as for example. Capsicum is actually a high valued and it has a continuing market. It doesn't goes down. If you look at the you can access Dambulla Economy Center has launched recently a proper website. That website basically give an indication on the daily prices of all the vegetables. So daily prices in the sense you can see how the price fluctuates from January to December, how price fluctuates, you can see. Now, if you want to grow what vegetables for Sri Lanka or which season, everything is there. It's a matter of just you're looking at that chart, you will get the entire picture. So as per this, we just got capsicum just to show you how the ROI works. A crop cycle cost. Basically, a capsicum type of a crop takes about 8 months to grow. So the 250,000 is basically you need to spend as seeds, fertilizers, and all these things, 250,000 rupees for a 2,000 square feet harvest. That's mean you need to put your money. Basically, that comes under type of your money where you basically invest for your first harvest. And then the annual profit, basically why is a family and without family? Because polytunnel we wanted to promote. If you have 8 perch of land, you can do a 2,000 square feet. So along in your house, now if you have a house with a space, you can run with your own family. You don't need outside labor. That's what you find annual profit with family labor. Annual profit without family labor. So annual profit is not basically the profit. Basically, what it's in an agriculture sense, we will call it on that way. Our terminology is basically annual profit. But with the labor, if you use your family labor, you spend about 30,000 rupees. Right? That's basically excluding salaries. You don't pay for your family's salary because that's your family. But if you're not using a family, if you're using a labor outside, you need to pay about 90,000 rupees. These are costs basically. I'm not saying it is not the cost. I'm not assumed. These are basically actual costs because we have done this. Okay.
But Jayraj, sorry. So I don't understand this annual profit with family labor and without family labor. Annual profit of 30,000 sounds very little to me.
Yeah, okay. There is a confusion. Yes, annual profit. Yes, but it should not say annual profit. There is a wording issue. But I think annual profit in the sense, on the sense of agriculture point of view, we talk that annual profit. We in a talking sense, what we say. Okay, what about if I use my family? How much of profit I make? If I use them as a labor. Okay, that's what he said. Annual profit. That word comes in there. It's a context of northern way of talking. That's the reason I put it that way. So, but in a fact, basically, if you use your labor, you need to spend 30,000 rupees on the family labor. Without the family labor, 90,000 rupees. So that's
so
what
this
you
is
don't
what
use.
this is what you're
This is
paying.
basically a cost. This
A
is
cost.
basically a cost. Yeah, it's a cost.
Okay, so you need to change the word profit.
Yes, sorry, that's the mistake. Okay, that's the mistake. So that should be annual cost, not the profit, annual
And
cost.
that must surely be the monthly cost.
It's not a monthly cost for the cycle cost. For the we said crop cycle cost for 8 months, that is a cost. So 8 months you need to grow until the harvest. If your family is working, you need to spend 30,000 rupees. If your family is not working, you have to pay 90,000 rupees until the harvest period. From the start of the day, you're basically where the seed is basically from the germination for the seed germination to the harvest on that 6 to 8 months period.
Okay, my advice to you, Jayraj, is people who are watching this won't understand the standard terminology. And for someone like me, annual profit means your surplus after all your costs at the end of the year. And what you seem to be saying is that this is the cost of labor So annual cost of labor, 30,000 rupees, seems very little. I mean, if that's all you're paying, it confuses me. Someone's got their hand up. I wonder if they can clarify this.
I'm really sorry the word that I've used here. I think it must be basically the typing error also, because I've been doing this. So I think annual profit, that should be basically, if I tell you to very clearly to understand this, it should be the labor cost used for it's not basically annual for a season. Basically the 8 months for the first harvest, you need to, if you are using a family to work on the polytunnel, you need to spend 30,000 rupees. If the family is not working, if you are outsourcing the labor force, then it should be 90,000 rupees.
Okay. Someone, it says iPhone, so I don't know who it is. Someone has their hand up.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jagan, it's me. Hi.
Yeah.
It's
Gauri.
Gauri. Yeah, Gauri. I was just going to add a comment on the costing. I feel that even if you are using or someone is using family labor, they need to cost it. Now, you may not actually pay that family member, but it's an important, I believe, an important accounting to do for costing. So it should be included in cost. That's my view, but I just wanted to jump in on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry,
yes.
Raj.
Yes, it's
Sorry.
welcome. I think thank you for your view. I think we really understand. It's end of the day. It's depends on the personal people context. They can had it and even they can pay as a salary and put it in all, but they can reduce it, because end of the day, if a family farming involves, if they can reduce that, the profit goes up. So it's basically either way you can look at it. But yes, still you can have the price. If that's the case, you can consider as a 90,000 rupees.
Okay.
If
All
you're
right.
still family, so also you are just going to pay as a salary or labor, just the cost would be 90,000. So that's very simple. So that's how you have to look at it. Harvest period is 6 to 8 months for this crop. And wholesale current price range. Today, the market price range goes under 1,200 to 1,500. It started November first week, started 1,200. Current price is 1,500, 1 kg. So it is a price. You can even check at the Ambula Economy Center. If you just log in today, you will be able to see the prices. Total yield 1,500 to 1,800 kg. This is this outcome. This you exactly can tell you so much, because we have our practical experience. We have done the capsicum farming on our last harvest. So we have come across with a 3,500 square feet, is a bigger one. I think some are touching at that level. We are more than that, but currently we had about 1,800. I think that's what I just put in the bracket, 1,700 kg. If you multiply by, I just took it, the current price as 1,000 rupees. If you look at the 1,000 rupees as a current price, but current price is not 1,000 rupees. Current price is actually 1,500. Today market price is 1,500. I just took it as 1,000 rupees. Still you end up with 1.7 million, a total yield price. This is a wholesale market price. This is the market we are basically, you send it to Dambula. Okay. I don't know if you give it to Cargills and other type of areas. I can't tell you assurance on the other prices, how it works. It depends. Some people work on a contract farming. With the contract farming is where Cargills is worked mostly with the contract farming system, where they will tell you, they will buy you for next year for entire from you for tomato, capsicum, all these things for till December on such a price. That's a contract farm. You have a contract signed and you have to supply to that price. So it's not a contract farming price. This is a normal pricing where to the market where fluctuates, the price goes up and goes down. So this is considering that today the yield has gone up to 1.7 million. So total income is 1.7 million. So basically, now if you work out this ROI 2.7 million and 62% per year, that is the ROI minimum, return on investment, maximum. But we will, for safe side, we will say minimum is 32%. Why is safe side is sometimes even you go in the polytunnel, where the polytunnel, not the growth I'm talking, some example, some incidents happens. Now example, recent cyclone. Okay, even the polytunnels have been destroyed in the Badul district because of the wind. Because when the strong winds come, your polytunnel has effect, right? Because if strong winds comes, yes, there is an issue. So if there is, that's what ROI, we basically said 32% to 62% per year. But it is why we say the minimum and maximum. We don't want to tell you a certain exact figure because we don't want to put you in trouble saying that this is what you exactly earn. No, but it also depends. Now it also depends on the crop that you choose. Now capsicum. Now coming season is a tomato season. Now coming 3 months, the price will go into, because currently green chili price is touching 2,500 in the market price. So green chili price. So if you are marketing green chili, yes, plus green chili, yes, we can do in the polytunnel. I think that's one of the high vegetable sector. So if you grow it, yes, you are minting money at this time of season. So it's all depends how your market knowledge, your experience, and all this comes into play. But yes, you have a proper standard return on investment, because you don't need to worry about other factors like open farming ground. You have other factors to worry about. Here you don't need to worry about that, because there are so many examples. Currently we have 9 polytunnel running in Jaffna. So you can even get a practical experience if you want. So basically crop cycle per season profit 1,360,000 rupees. This is after deducting crop cycle cost 250, annual profit 90,000 rupees. All these things after deduction, you will have 1,360,000 rupees profit net to your hand. Okay, so is it for a 6 to 8 months crop? Okay, 6 to 8 month hour period crop. So, but there are other crops also you can. But only thing you need to be a little bit market intelligence is very important in a polytunnel. You should know what to grow at what time. So that's what I think. Yes, you don't need to worry about that part. We will basically explain you how the season works and which is basically the market and all these things. That's what I said, the free consultancy we will be providing to you the first harvest to understand how the whole process works. Okay, disadvantages of polytunnel. High initial investment, limited technical knowledge. Most of the farmers have yes, it is highly technical. Even you make your own soil, the soils in the sense basically the potting medium, and you basically how to your drip irrigation system, and what is the waters you should use, what is the fertilizers you should use, and all these things. Yes, need to have a technical knowledge. And low adoption because that is where we have been fighting today in the north and east, because the reason it's a very, very difficult to go and convince a conventional farmer who has been a farmer from their ancestors level, and to go and tell him, okay, stop open grow farming, come into polytunnel. Adapting them is not an easy task. Okay, so that is the reason our marketing system changed. We actually built the first polytunnel by our side. We basically invested, we built it one to show people how a polytunnel works. So that is our it's like more like we did our one of our key marketing strategy we did. So that's how if you visit our office in Puttur, we have a polytunnel place, and we are growing in that. You can see the entire system. So that is how demonstration unit we made it, and that is how we approach the market. So, and adaptability, whatever you say, it's very difficult with the farmers, but I think there is an improvement. I think we have achieved 9 polytunnel in the northern province. There are people who accepted us and understood, okay, this is a viable business. And most of our farmers currently supplying to Cargills. They're directly supplying to Cargills. So there is now we believe we've broken that barrier, but we still need to work on it. Insufficient yield to attract, because the reason this is where a polytunnel business comes into play. Insufficient yield to attract export buyers. You see, you want to sell now. Example, Japanese cucumber. It has an export market. But only problem, okay, per week, how many kilos you can export? If your buyer wants 2,000 kilos, if you can't, okay, one polytunnel farm is producing only 400 kilos or 200 kilos, 100 kilos, he can't meet the pro export market. So what we have decided, we are creating that cluster farm. We have a cluster. We already have 9 polytunnels. We are looking for export guys. I think we are doing a lot of work on it. We have started our groundworks. So we find an export buyer when he says, okay, we want 1,500 kg per week. We want to talk about the 9 polytunnel farmers to grow simultaneously Japanese cucumber. Okay, so basically, if you ask the 9 farmer will grow, and we actually as a company, we will buy from the 9 farmers the Japanese cucumber and want to export. So this is what our idea. So this is why I said disadvantages. We can't attract the export buyers. When you come to attract export buyers, they expect a consistent supplies, because they need the vegetables on a constant basis. You can't say today 1,500, tomorrow 500. No, they're not interested. So in order to come up to that level, we need to have more farmers working on polytunnel, because we have a guarantee. Because even we are in a polytunnel farming, we have a guarantee because we know the product is going to come. 100% is going to come. So we have an export buyer. We can talk to the export buyer and we have to tell him, listen, guys, we can meet your demand. As far as we can meet their demand, the IC business is going to come. So that's what we are working on the cluster farm. So we have 9 farmers currently. We want to increase up to 20 to approach the export buyers. And limited crops are suitability, mainly high, because this is another disadvantage, I believe, because it is only for high value vegetables. You can't just grow anything you want, like rice or any other grains. Yes, not all grains are not possible. So there is a restriction for polytunnel farming. As I mentioned previously in my slides, there are specified vegetables only you can grow and the herbs. So if you have an idea of growing any other thing, example rice, maize, any other thing, it's not possible. Advantages of polytunnel: high yield per unit area, efficient water use, export quality production. You can I think yes, now currently we have been a company almost reaching more than a decade now. Recently, MDF, Market Development Facility from Aussie grant, Australian grant, has given us a small fund to us, to about 3.5 million, to work with the farmers and sustain the farmers. It's more like a project. We're working on it, and we are working with GIZ also on a project. It is not still approved, but we're working on a project for a circular economy. So this is all connected to export quality production. Because if you are a circular economy, basically circular economy is where you reuse everything. Because the reason, that's what I'm saying, in polytunnel, all the drip irrigation pipes we use reused plastic. We don't use any virgin plastic. We use all reused plastic. And another important part is on the circular economy, we use actually we collect the rainwater and we reuse the rainwater. So these are basically the circular economy's standards we maintain. So that's we looking at are looking at that point of view. I think even our farmers, that's what I'm saying. We need to make smart farmers. If you have a smart farmer, there are other opportunities are opening up by EU grants, and other foreign funds are being looked at, and there are opportunities that you can reach up to them. And then youth empowerment in agriculture. Yes, we want climate smart agriculture is basically tech based. So youth empowerment, I think youth empowerment, even if youth can get into this business. It's not as Nirojan will explain in that video, because is people do not get into messy in this type of agriculture. You don't need to basically get into the field, the right other typical farmers do. No, you don't know to do that. You need to be tech based. Right, so that's you handle it on a phone. Most of the things you want to switch on your ventilation system, you want to switch on your drip irrigation system, or all this can on a smartphone. So climate smart farming, year-round cultivation, because you don't need to worry about, okay, what is the weather condition, all this, because you just grow whatever you want. Okay, this season I'm going to close tomato. Yes, no problem. Okay, that is
Sorry,
off
Raj,
season.
Raj, to
Yeah.
allow time for questions, can you
Yeah.
have wind up in 5 minutes? So I'm sure people have questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 2 more slides. That's it. So
Okay.
reduce pest and disease pressure, weather protection, sustainable economic growth in the north and east. So I think this is, I think I basically explained you also earlier. Okay, just coming to this is the government agriculture 5 million for the youth, entrepreneurship, development, and agriculture and industrial sector. Okay, this has been announced by month of November, Minister of Agriculture. There is a 5 million loan you can obtain from BOC, RDB, People's Bank with annual interest plus 4%, age limit 18 to 15 years. You can contact nearest divisional secretary office. You have to go and talk to them. They can give you 5 million, and you can, with this, you can start a polytunnel. Okay, if you are looking for where I'm going to find money in my business, there is a government is giving you this money. So it is for youth, entrepreneurship, development, and agriculture. So I think if you are going with the polytunnel system, definitely you will get approved. But I think there are other system. I think basically you need to talk to the DS office, and then they have to actually the agriculture officer from the DS office will visit your place, and there are so other procedures you will have to follow. And then you can obtain the loan from 4% interest. Basically, that's a very attractive interest. And repayment period 5 million. You don't need to get 5 million to have a 2,000 square feet. You should need only 2.7. I would recommend 3 million. You can take this loan. It is available currently. The loan is being approved by the banks. I think you can talk to the banks who are interested. Just go and ask this agriculture loan 5 million. You will get more information from People's Bank, BOC, and Regional Development Bank. Okay, this is a video I just want to play you. This is about not much, only 3-minute video.
தாவரம் வந்து ஒளித்துவக்கூடிய ஒரு சில காரணிகள் இருக்கு. வெளிச்சம் இருக்கும், மற்ற கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு வேறு, நீராவி, மற்றது அதை வந்து எல்லைப்படுத்துகிற காரணிகள் இப்போ காற்றின் சூழல் வெப்பநிலை அதெல்லாம் சேர்ந்துதான் இந்த பச்சை குட்டி பிள்ளை வந்து சொல்லுவோம். சில இடங்கள்ல வந்து இப்போ குளிர் பிரதேசங்கள்ல தான் இந்த ஸ்கிரீன் கவுஸ் மற்றது இந்த பொலிடனல் சொல்லுது. ஏன்னா டெம்பரேச்சர் அவைக்கு டெம்பரேச்சர் குறைவா இருக்கு, அதை கூட்டுறதுக்காக இதை பாவிக்குது. நாங்கள் ஒரே சிஸ்டத்தை இங்கே வந்து டெம்பரேச்சரை குறைச்சி உங்கள்கிட்ட வெளிச்சம் இருக்குது, எல்லாம் இருக்குது, மற்றது எல்லைப்படுத்துகிற காரணிகள் காற்றின் வேகம், நீராசி அறுத்திறன், அந்த கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு அளவு கூட்டி உங்களுக்கு ஒரு குளோபல் வார்மிங் எஃபெக்டை கொண்டு வரும். கிரீன் கவுஸுக்குள்ள வரைக்குள்ள வந்து எங்களுக்கு வெளியில இருக்கிற சூழல்ல இருக்கிற தொடர்பை வந்து நாங்கள் கட் பண்றோம். தீங்கு விளைவிக்கக்கூடிய பூச்சிகள்ல இருந்து நாங்கள் கட்டுப்படுத்துறோம். வெளியில அப்படி இல்லை, வெளியில வந்து நோய் வரக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பு கூட. கிரீன் கவுஸ் சிஸ்டம் வந்து இப்போ நாங்கள் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி இதை வந்து நிறைய பேருக்கு நாங்கள் செய்து கொடுத்தோம். அடுத்தது வந்து நிறைய பேருக்கு பயிற்றுவிக்கிறோம். அடுத்தது நிறைய பேர் தோட்டங்களை வந்து நாங்கள் பராமரிச்சுக்கிறோம். இப்போ இந்த ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் வந்து ஃபுல்லாகவே வந்து ஸ்டீல் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் கல்வனைஸ் பைப்பால் நாங்கள் டிசைன் பண்ணுறது. புற ஊதாக்காரர்களை வந்து தவிர்க்கக்கூடிய குளத்தினை வந்து பயன்படுத்தும். எங்களுக்கு தேவையான காலநிலையை வந்து நுண் காலநிலையை இது நாங்கள் இதுக்குள்ளேயே உருவாக்கிடுவோம். ஆவியிருப்பு வீதம் எல்லாமே சீராக இருக்குது, மற்றது அவருக்கு தேவையான ஒளி கிடைக்குது. அடுத்தது களைகள் ஒன்று இல்லை, நாங்கள் கொடுக்குற பசல போடுற தண்ணி எல்லாமே அவரால் எடுத்துக்கொள்வார். அப்ப அவருக்கு எல்லா விதமாக கிடைக்கிறபடியா அந்த விலையில வீதியத்தை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பெரிய அளவுல இது உண்மையாவது ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி. தோட்டத்துக்கு ஒரு டிராக்டர் பண்ற மாதிரியான ஒரு ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி. நீங்க டிராக்டர் ஒரு 50 லட்சம் ரூபாய் கொடுத்து பண்ணிட்டு உடனே எதிர்பார்க்கல, அது 2 வருஷத்துல அந்த 1 வருஷத்துல அந்த காசை நான் அந்த டிராக்டர் உழைப்பு குறிப்பிட்ட டைம் அந்த முதல் வந்து அப்படியே அந்த டிராக்டர் எப்படி இருக்க போதும், உருப்படியா இருக்க போதும், அதே மாதிரி தான் இது ஒரு ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி. சூழல்ல வந்து நாங்கள் பாவிக்கிற ரசாயனங்களோட அளவு கூடும், அந்த ரிஸ்கும் சரி. இதுல வந்து நாங்கள் கெமிக்கல் வந்து 80-85 வீதத்துக்கு மேல குறை. சுற்றி வர நாங்கள் வந்து என்ன என்வரான்மெண்ட் கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணி தானே வச்சிருக்கோம். பூச்சி உள்ள வராது, பூச்சி வந்தா தான் நோய் வரப்போகுது, நோய் வராது. நோய் வராட்டி நாங்கள் அடிக்க தெரியல. இது வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட மண் இன்றிகேஷன். இதுக்கு நாங்கள் மண் பாவிக்கிறது நிலத்துல இருந்து மண் ஒன்றுமே எடுக்க போகுது. எல்லாமே வந்து நாங்கள் வந்து கொக்கோ ஃபைபர் ஏற்றுமதி விவசாயத்துக்கு போறதுக்கு நாங்கள் இப்ப ஒரு 10 ஏக்கர்ல தோட்டத்தை செய்து போட்டு மழை வந்து எல்லாம் அழிஞ்சு போயிட்டு உள்ள லொஸ் சொல்லுங்க. அப்படி இது அப்படி இல்லை தானே. இது எங்களுக்கு நாங்கள் 2000-5000 கிலோ நாங்கள் டார்கெட் 5000 கிலோ நாங்கள் உங்களுக்கு எடுத்து அடுத்தது இதுக்கு பெரிய எங்களுக்கு ஆளணி தேவையில் பெருசா தேவையில்லை. அடுத்தது தண்ணியை பத்தி நாங்கள் பெருசா யோசிக்க தேவையில்லை. கணக்கு தண்ணி எங்களுக்கு தேவையில்லை. கொஞ்சம் தண்ணி இருந்தாலே காட்டும். விவசாயங்களை படிக்க போட்டு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க. ஒரு ரெஸ்பெக்டா தெரியும் அந்த வேலையை நாங்கள் கூட படிச்சிருக்கோம். ரெஸ்பெக்ட் ஒரு வேலை ஒன்று வேணும். அவை அப்படியே நாட்களுக்கெல்லாம் இப்படி இது விவசாயம் செய்து கொண்டு மாடர்னா செய்யலாம். கொஞ்சம் ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா இருந்து கொண்டு மாடர்னா செய்யலாம். அதோட விருப்பமானது. தாவரம் வந்து ஒளித்துவக்கூடிய ஒரு சில காரணிகள் ஒழிக்கிறது.
So basically, that's how presentation is all about. So I think Jagan, I think I met the timeline. I hope the presentation.
Yes, more or less.
Okay, I'm sorry if I exceeded. I'm sorry. I think I think it's a Q&A as Jagan said. I think you can ask any questions you all want to.
Yeah.
So I'm there
So
to.
can I quickly ask
Yeah, please.
a couple of questions? One is, for these polytunnels, do you need planning permission?
Pardon?
Do you need planning permission?
Yeah, plant information in the sense that you mean the plant in the sense what we are going to grow in that type of plant.
Planning permission. So when I put up a building, I need
Okay.
planning permission because these are large structures.
Yeah, okay. I've been in I've been to your building, but your building is concerned it's if polytunnel is concerned, we are not going to do it on the building structure, but as your building still we can do a polytunnel. I think I visited that place and we had a chat. But where else if it's a
sorry,
ground-
Raj, I think you're misunderstanding me.
Okay.
I assume because this is a temporary structure, I assume that you don't need to get from the planning permission.
Oh,
But
okay,
then-
okay. Yeah, it's a temporary structure. No authority, no approval is needed.
Yeah.
Because we
So
don't make.
sorry, I'm just rushing because there are some people with questions.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Sathi, you go ahead.
Raj, can you hear
Yeah.
me? Raj, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You made a presentation and the presentation is confused between an agriculturalist and the investor.
Okay.
I come from investor side.
Okay.
How long is the payback period of your investment?
Yeah, as it's like this. I just basically
If you
presented.
don't know, say don't know. You can fix it up and let us know later.
No, I don't say that I don't know because I know because I've been in this business almost quite a long period. I'll be able to give you, but it all depends. Now, see, if you're starting with the 2,000 square feet, if you can go up to 5,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet, and your ROIs differ. Okay, it's basically your production yield gives you what you really need, and you need to know the what market also. Example, your growth. Some people do different type of a crop at a different period. It doesn't work. So you need to have a market intelligence in order. So you need to collect the data from the market, what products is needed. And then you can't go on okay, this is basically, I'm looking at a farmer with a very small scale farmers. It's not for large scale farming.
I understand.
If you're looking at large scale farming, we recommend minimum should be 10,000 square feet, right? That's a large scale farming where we can look for an export buyer. Okay, so that I'm not looking at that market because Jaffna has not gone up to that level still. We just want to break through into a market, breaking the traditional method of farming is bringing them into a tech farming. It's what we are trying on. So yes, sir, I can give you an answer like this. Now, currently, I just told you for a 2,000 square feet, the ROIs will be 1.3 million, right? But if you look at the 5,000 square feet, the figure will be double. Okay, so I think as my colleague Nirojan explained, we don't look this as how you buy a tractor. Example for a farmer.
Okay, Raj. Some people highly experienced.
Can I just ask one more question to complete? Now, 2.7 million is full turnkey job. That is including any foundations, your polytunnel, and about the growth medium.
Yeah. Yes,
you are right. It is basically once you give a 2.7 million, we'll ensure that you have the entire structure, everything is ready. Even basically what you have to do is after that, you need to basically start the first harvest.
All right, I'll send you an email. You can call me. I will be in Jaffna between 20th and 23rd. and I may like to visit one of your farm.
I will be there. I also will be there 22nd. I'll personally meet you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, great. Janan, if you'd like to ask. And then Kurt afterwards. So John,
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for the presentation. I just want to give a comment like our future agriculture is very dependent on controlled environment agriculture. For a place like Jaffna, we really need this, and this has to. I mean, if you really look at Israel, the reason why they are so advanced is for a long time they have been practicing this controlled environment agriculture, and this is our future, and you guys are in the right path, and I'm actually also practicing this in my farm, and I have a hybrid net house, and I'm growing, and I'm learning, and I think for us to be successful and for farming to be successful, this is the way to go. And I'm kind of really thankful that Niru has been in the forefront for a long time promoting this, and he's doing a fantastic job. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Janan, can I
Thank you.
quickly ask you, what are you growing?
I'm growing chilies right now.
Say it again.
Like
Growing
green chilies, green chilies.
chilies.
Yeah.
All right. I need to come and see your place. So when you're here,
Yes.
please
Sure.
take me. Okay, Kurt, if you'd like to.
Yeah, quick. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a very good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
And as Janan said, Israel has been doing it for a long time, this polytunnel. And even in Sri Lanka, I think for more than 30 years in the upcountry, they've been doing
Yes, sir.
polytunnel sort of thing. And my father used to bring in upcountry vegetables into the east and the north. And we had tea plantations in Bandarawala, but that cannot be done on polytunnels. But I'm saying, this is good. This is the way to go, but it is very small, isn't it? It's not something that can be. You can't feed the whole world.
Yeah, I understand, sir. I totally agree with you what you said, because the reason is before we want to presentation, we actually thought we've been thinking twice how to put what category of numbers, what is the how many what is the size of the polytunnel we want to put in the presentation, because when you look at the northern province, basically when we launched the drip irrigation system, we started with for 35,000 rupees just for a quarter acre, and people did not even buy that. That's it is expensive. So tech based is very difficult to break in. So, okay, that's what we just came out with a solution. You looked at my presentation. I just gave you 2.7 million. I just gave you the bank loan. So I just gave the access to the bank loan also. If any, we are looking at a very small scale farm.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, I think, yes, you are right. I think, yeah. I think
No.
that it's not the time, I believe it's not the time to come and talk big farming system in Jaffna, but I think, yes, times to come, we will gradually improve that.
Yeah. The next question is just to be mindful of the history, because the previous government, Gotha, he went all out with organic and fertilizers and in climate friendly way, and it's a total disaster, right?
Yes.
It probably it's something to think about it. We cannot discard the old wisdom, but at the same time take advantage of the drip irrigation, composting, and recycling. It's all very good, but we have to be very careful. Yeah.
Yeah, in our farming, so we never say we are 100% organic, or we always use chemical fertilizers. But what we basically say, we reduce it. We don't say
Right.
it is, we are not avoiding it. Without that you can't do farm. I'm telling you very frankly.
Correct.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay,
Pesticides
so,
and
yeah, that's
pesticides
basically
is also important. Yeah.
that's a fact. So we need to actually what we should do, look at it. Okay, we should reduce it. That is what the first aim is. So we are basically working on that. There will be a day will come. They will say they will not use chemical fertilizers. I don't know whether I'll be alive or not. But that's a time I don't know. I don't think. But currently we are looking at slowly, gradually reduce it. I think we are reduced 70 to 80%. That's a massive reduction.
Because you also
We want to
mentioned
reduce it.
you also
Pardon?
mentioned about market intelligence. You
Yeah.
have mentioned the crops that are in demand, which can give a high yield. So that's what the people who are thinking about doing something, that's where they have to focus. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
think thank you. Thank you so much for the great presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Raj.
Thank you.
Thank you. Darcy, go ahead.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Raj,
sir.
a very interesting presentation.
Thank
I
you,
think
sir.
Gauri, what she raised in terms of labor, I think you need to consider, but again, I can talk to you later.
Okay.
My one and only, maybe it's a stupid question, a question to you is, how can we get all the schools in all 5 districts involved in this one with the bank support and of course private investors so that we get larger volume and also train young people to get into agriculture in a modern way than wasting time in tuitions? I'm just asking
Superb,
you.
sir. Thank you. Thank you for this. I'm just want to tell you because as you are shown, actually, this is actually a, I think my background, I think Jagan, no, I am actually from an NGO sector. I don't work for NGOs now, but I think, yes, we have actually, myself and my colleague is meeting on next Friday. There is a meeting in Kilnochi in Riverine. It is organized by WUSC. WSC is a basically Canadian-based NGO. They promote education. We are actually meeting all this NGO. We have a meeting. They want us to train climate smart adaptation for youngsters who goes to the vocational training institute, right? And they actually, there's no big budget for them to training, but we are in the process of participating on this Friday. I think I won't be able to come from Colombo, but Nirojan will be participating that. But we are going to, as you said, basically we are going to work on that. This is actually, we are targeting not the school level, from the vocational training institutes who's basically doing the diploma in agriculture, bring these students into a polytunnel farming, basically the climate smart agriculture farming, and teach them this is what has to go into each villages. So they should walk into the villages and say, okay, listen, this is what we can do. Okay, let's do it. I think we need to get this is actually, it's not our idea. We had this idea, but we were looking for a partner. The partner was actually WSC, is a Canadian-based NGO. That is a Friday we have a meeting. Thank you for your initiation, but yes, we are there. As you said, if you want to do it, we are also there. Whatever the private schools, yes, why not? We can do it. I think if you want, we can do a proper study on it and come out with a solution for that. Yes, why not? We can do that.
Thank you, Raj, and good luck with your.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I'm just going to make one statement or comment that, in my opinion, this is a great opportunity for diaspora investment. As Jay was saying, the government is offering up to 5 million to young people, which they include up to 50. Now, I don't fall into that category, but up to 50 seems quite liberal. But if the young person can borrow 5 million at 4%, and the diaspora puts in 5 million, because that's not a lot of money in the UK or in North America or Australia, because your polytunnel system allows a high level of supervision. And in the past, one of the reasons diaspora investment has had trouble is because they haven't been able to supervise it. So here, with cameras and with Internet of Things and the other devices that you're talking about, in my opinion, this is a great opportunity for diaspora investment. Now, as we're running out of time, I think I'll close this now. But I think this was a really interesting presentation, and I hope people will contact you. I'll be sending out the recording tomorrow, and the contact details are here on the screen, but I'll also include that then. So unless anyone has an urgent question, then I'm going to, as is traditional, I will say good morning, good night, have tea, nearly my dinner time. Kurt, you should be in bed. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you,
Raj.
thank you, thank you,
Happy
all the
New
people
Year,
who joined.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year
Thank
to
you all.
everyone.
Yeah.
And I will see you next month.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thanks. Thank you.
Bye. 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 Bye.